is your AI briefing for June 12, 2026, with 12 stories. Story 1. Google DeepMind is worried about what happens when millions of agents start to interact. DeepMind's AGI safety lead Rohin Shah says the firm is funding research on how online swarms of millions of instruction-following agents could amplify unsafe behaviors without human oversight, requiring new interaction safety mechanisms. Shah says dense agent-to-agent interaction can create cascades that no single model's safety filters can see. The team is studying coordination rules and sandboxing so large populations do not converge on harmful strategies. DeepMind is already gaming out agent swarms because one careless model chain is enough to turn automation into a distributed chaos machine. Story 2. The most dangerous AI in your company is the one nobody owns. Risk is concentrated in unowned AI models deployed with authority in real workflows, creating governance gaps until ownership, controls, and accountability are assigned before authorization grows. These systems often inherit access from a workflow rather than a named owner, so dangerous actions slip past review and audit. Companies are being pushed to assign human accountability before agents can approve, purchase, or deploy anything. The real AI governance failure is basic. If nobody owns the model before it gets authority, the company has built a liability with a login. Story 3. For AI companions to feel genuine, saying the right words isn't enough. Researchers show that beyond scripted phrases, AI companions must align timing, context, and response rhythm to users' emotional cues to sustain perceived care and reduce mismatch feelings. The studies link perceived empathy to turn-taking patterns, delay length, and whether replies arrive at emotionally appropriate moments. When those cues are off, users feel the companion is performing care instead of actually responding to them. These companions aren't chasing truth, just emotional choreography miss the timing and the bot feels off, no matter how polished the scripted reassurance sounds. Story 4. Pokemon Go data was used to help train AI systems being developed for military drones. Niantic Spatial says Pokemon Go ground scans are training its AI models for military drone navigation, shifting from consumer map collection to defense-focused autonomy using spatial scan data. The scans provide labeled real-world geometry and motion cues that can train autonomy software for drones in complex environments. That repurposing turns a consumer mapping pipeline into a military data asset. Pokemon Go users helped train military drone navigation, so the cute map game quietly became free reconnaissance for defense autonomy. Story 5. Apple Intelligence is coming to Safari with smarter tabs, custom extensions, and password fixes. At WWDC, Apple Intelligence for Safari will use on-device AI to auto-sort open tabs, help users draft custom extensions, monitor visited pages, and automatically update saved passwords via password management improvements. Safari will use device-side inference to reorganize tabs and generate extension logic without sending browsing data to the cloud. Apple also says the same system can flag password issues and apply fixes inside the browser. Apple is dressing up tab sorting and password hygiene as intelligence. But the real win is making Safari feel smarter without giving users much to distrust yet. Story 6. Computex 2026 marks the dawn of physical agentic computing. At Computex 2026, vendors showcased edge platforms with real-time physical agent governance, combining silicon, orchestration, and security policies to control deployments beyond the cloud on constrained devices. The demos emphasized edge devices that can enforce policies locally while coordinating multiple physical agents in real time. Vendors framed this as a shift from cloud-managed software to governed autonomy at the device layer. Physical agentic computing is just edge AI with a governance badge, because the hard part is controlling machines in the real world, not renaming the stack. Story 7. The real questions you should be asking about AI data centers in your neighborhood. Local advocates and researchers press AI data centers to disclose power and water footprints, quantify job creation, and address neighborhood surveillance risks, arguing today's requirements fall short of community-scale needs. Advocates want operators to publish exact electricity draw, cooling demand, and water consumption before permits are approved. They also warn that sensor-heavy campuses can intensify neighborhood monitoring without clear limits or consent. The AI data centers are local boons for utilities and real estate people, while neighborhoods inherit the water bill, power load, and surveillance apparatus. Story 8. OpenAI partners with Visa to bring payments to ChatGPT. Visa and OpenAI are building an agentic payment platform that lets retailers securely accept payments initiated from ChatGPT tools, expanding merchant coverage with a focus on payment security. The platform is designed so a ChatGPT action can trigger a payment flow that merchants already recognize and accept securely. Visa brings tokenization and fraud controls so transactions can move from conversation to checkout. Visa and OpenAI are turning ChatGPT into a checkout lane, which means merchants get reach and users get one more place where a prompt can become spending. Story 9. Headless or walled, Cordial draws the line on how AI agents should work. Cordial's headless, LLM-agnostic agent infrastructure exposes all its enterprise marketing capabilities as standard services, letting agents interact beyond platform-walled data for customers like Levi's and LL Bean. Because every capability is exposed as a service, agents can execute campaigns without being trapped inside a proprietary marketing suite. That architecture is intended to let enterprise teams swap models while keeping the same operational controls. Cordial's pitch is simple. Stop trapping agents inside walled gardens and let them roam across its stack, which is great for Levi's and terrifying for clean data boundaries. Story 10. Test Sprite open sources a CLI that lets AI coding agents autonomously verify their own work. Test Sprite's Apache 2.0 CLI, released today, lets AI coding agents run automated self-verification that catches regressions before merge, with public proof hosted on CoderCup. The CLI runs tests and compares outputs automatically, so agents can detect failures before code is merged. Test Sprite is using CoderCup results to show the tool works publicly across real coding tasks. Test Sprite is trying to patch the most expensive lie in AI coding, that unsupervised agents can ship code without making humans become the test runner. Story 11. Workers are spending over 6 hours a week bot-sitting AI, fueling job frustration. A 2026 Business Insider review says employees spend 6+ hours weekly bot-sitting AI systems, manually checking errors and micromanaging outputs, sparking frustration because the automation still requires constant human oversight. Employees are spending that time correcting hallucinations, redoing bad drafts, and nudging tools back on task instead of doing new work. The pattern is turning AI adoption into an added management burden rather than a productivity gain. 6 hours a week of bot-sitting is the anti-automation dividend. Companies bought AI and employees got a second shift babysitting it. Story 12. Evalua launches IVA Studio, redefining how procurement works with AI. Evalua's IVA Studio upgrades its IVA intelligent virtual agent to execute any source-to-pay workflow from day one using a skills framework, with platform access and self-improving behavior via Model Context Protocol. IVA Studio lets procurement teams launch agents that can source, negotiate, and process requests from the first deployment. MCP Access gives those agents live system connections while their behavior improves through repeated use. Evalua's fully agentic procurement story mostly means faster ways to automate approvals, with MCP and self-improving jargon papering over who audits the spending bot. That is the briefing for today.